an update on my new wood shop setup and a couple key things I want to show you. The radio arm saw station. Obviously this is not complete, but what I've done here is I have one table and one fence that goes across both, and they're all fastened together, so that gives me a surface that no matter what saw I'm using, everything's going to line up. And to the left of this is going to be the wall. Above that's going to be all wood rack and all set up together. So that's one thing that I've done so far. And if I back up here, you can see I got a lot. I don't trip as well. I've got a lot more stuff out here. This section over here, I said was going to be the assembly area, and you can see I've actually showed these before, but I have two of them side by side now. It's where all of my hand tools, you know, drills, power tools, stuff like that. Not the hand tools, but hand drills and stuff. But I can pull out and be able to use right here. And one thing I did different with those is I spaced them out more. Before, if you saw them when they were in the other shop, you would reach in here, and it was so tight because they were right on top of each other, you could not grab a handful and you'd end up losing half of them on the floor. Now I can reach right in, no problem, grab what I need and go with it. So yes, it took up a little bit more space, but it definitely makes a lot of sense. I won't end up with a ton of screws and nuts and bolts and washers all over the floor. Back up a little bit, you can kind of see I've got the rack. Not really a rack because I don't have a whole set of clamps that are all matching. So, but I started putting those in place, and you can see in the corner there I got some of the smaller ones. And that light you see hanging, I just threw that there temporarily. That'll actually go over this table, shining right down on it, so I can have light right on the area that I'm working with. The older we get, the more light we need. So that light will actually hang down right here. So we'll go this way. That's not staying in here. That's what the bandsaw used to set on. This is the outfeed table now in the other shop. This table and the one for assembly, that was one long 4x8 table. I split it in two. Now this piece of plywood here is going to go on top of the other one, so it's double thickness, and I have another sheet of tabletop I'm going to use here. It's a much smoother surface. It's got the same surface as this here, so it's nice and smooth, because that'll be the outfeed table. Now I hemmed and hawed over whether or not to split that bench in half because I really liked my 4x8 table in the middle of the room. However, one of the problems I had with it is it was my assembly table as well as my outfeed table. And as I've stated in past videos, if I have a flat surface, they tend to get cluttered up. So this is a way to try to help train myself to keep this clear. So if I'm using this as my assembly table, I know this is going to get messy, but I hope I can keep this clean. Because before, as I was assembling at this end of it, stuff would get in the way, and every time I wanted to use the table saw, I'd have to move a bunch of junk out of the way. So hopefully this helps alleviate that. And of course, I'm going to raise this up to the same level as the table saw. And of course, I don't know if I showed this in another video, but I've seen a lot of people do this, and I like the idea, and I'm toying with it. I do have one of my routers right here in the table saw, and it's very easy to raise and lower it, so it's out of the way when you don't need it. And then of course I have my other small router table with a round over bit that I use all the time. And I might actually, I'm not really sure yet. I'm still doing a lot of adjusting. I'm trying to get all the big stuff out here. Then I'll work the little stuff in. But I still have to try to find a good home for my surface. We'll see. Again, it's in progress. So you'll see as it goes, as it comes together. Now coming over here, this is an interesting setup. Now I don't have a ton of space, but more than some, so people are very creative as to what they do. None of this is screwed down yet, the drill press or the bandsaw, but the idea is, the way they're sitting right now, let me just move this out of the way. they do not interfere with each other at all, because when you're sawing on this, you're going that way, which of course is heading for the wall. And I do a lot of little stuff, so that'll work a lot of the time. But if I need to do something big, I've got this thing on wheels. I can swing this thing right out, and of course, as long as the room, which is 28 feet, I can, you know, half of that I can have in feed and half for out feed, which I never do that with the bandsaw. So there's plenty of room, and it rolls nice and easy. And then, of course, on the other side, same thing. I got my drill press. I do a lot of small stuff right here, or I haven't done it yet, but I do a lot of small stuff on my drill press. And if I need to do something longer, I can just roll this side out as far as I need, swing it right out. There's plenty of room here when I back up, you'll be able to see. And I can, you know, pretty much have the full length for that as well. And you can see if I back up here, there's plenty of room to roll that out and use it any way I need. And of course the old wheels were on the floor there. I put a new set underneath that cabinet. Not the nicest looking cabinet, it's certainly not a wood shop cabinet, but it works, and I'll probably end up painting it up. Now if we turn this way, I did manage to just get my lathe out here. That's why I'm a little out of breath. I got that moved over into this corner. And that's going to sit here. And going to the left here will be really nothing in this area. Originally I had planned for the bandsaw and drill press to go over here. Again, things change as you go. But over in this corner, I have another table that's going to come out here that's going to have a belt sander and a jigsaw. Well, anyway, thank you for swinging by Shane's Main Shop. Please like, subscribe, comment, and forgive the mess during the setup.